Goes Fox Sports Radio and FS1. Joy Taylor's joining me. We were just talking about baseball. Ask yourself this. If you cheated on your wife as a guy, doesn't she have the right to cheat on you? Oh, my bad, you're a guy. Yeah, I mean, guys can do what they want to do, man. I'm a guy. Like, don't cheat on people and then be outraged they cheat on you. So all you baseball players using files, using that bullfrog sunscreen with your rosin to get the curveball, it's sticky. You're all cheating for years getting an edge. Now you're outraged somebody cheated better than you.
Well, I mean, cheated better. They got caught, so.
That's the problem. They got caught. I mean, if you cheat, I don't want to hear about your victimhood about being cheated on.
It's the culture of baseball.
Of course.
To push the envelope, just toe the line or step over the line and come back. But it's just because it's baseball. Baseball has unwritten rules, and it's America's pastime, and there's a way to play the game, and it's just romanticized sport, so that when there's any kind of critique about, it's the kind of every single part of baseball, as long as I've been alive, has some association with cheating
or pushing the envelope.
It's cheating. Like, it's either allowed or it's not allowed. Like, just because you get away with it, is it not cheating? It's still cheating. It's part of the culture of baseball. That's okay. Every sport has something with it. That's just what it is.
All you fans out there outraged by the Astros, New York Yankee fans, big market fans, your teams were taking steroids for years. You didn't complain at all.
It's very glass house. Very
glass house. Steroids absolutely decided World Series, home run record. Have they erased all those? Tui, you're a baseball guy. How many records have been erased due to steroids?
None.
No, I'm not saying it's not a disaster and an embarrassment, and it was terribly wrong, and it definitely helped them win.
I don't even think this is a disaster for baseball. I'll make the argument. I can't wait to watch the Yankees play the Astros and the Dodgers play the Astros.
Well, no, it's definitely going to be heightened. It's going to be.
We got a villain.
Must-watch television for sure. We do have a villain. It's an embarrassment, though. It is the elaborate nature of it, the next level that they took to make it happen.
I'm not saying I'm not defending it. I'm saying, Marcus Aurelius, what is your nature? What is your nature? What are you? Baseball's an envelope push. Golf isn't. NASCAR is.
But I'm telling you, though, like the romantic nature of golf, like the gentleman's game, that's how baseball fans talk about baseball. That's how baseball purists talk about baseball.
The sensibility of golf is you don't move a twig. Like, I mean, literally, golf allows a viewer to call into an event and go, yeah, I saw that guy sneeze on the 14th hole and move his ball.
I know, but baseball, they romanticize it as that, even though it's not.
All right, here we go. It's Colin Wright. It's got us all worked up. I want to watch the Astros-Yankees spring training game. I would buy tickets to that. I want to see Jose Altuve bat against the Yankee pitcher. That's what I want to watch. Here we go. Colin Right, Colin Wrong.
Where Colin was right?
Well, I've said this for years. The NBA comes up with a good idea. Baseball makes the most money on it, and the NFL generally gets it right. The NBA tweaked its all-star rules. This is what they do. They tried a new ball. It failed. They had a dress code. People didn't like it, but the NBA's never been afraid just to go out there and throw something against the wall, and they're not afraid to admit that didn't work, we're going to stop doing it, and they tweaked the all-star rules and it made for a better game. Team Giannis wouldn't sub late. Kyle Lowry's taking charges. Guys are yelling at each other. LeBron was playing real defense. The NBA, I saw more people on Twitter this morning saying, hey, Pro Bowl, call the NBA and figure out how to make your game better. This is what the NBA does really well. They roll the dice. They take chances. That new ball was a disaster. Remember when they came out with the sleeves for a couple years? That was dumb. But it's okay. The league survived. It's okay. You can take chances. I like it.
Where Colin was wrong.
I'm not a dunk contest guy, but I got to admit Derek Jones and Aaron Gordon was fun. The quality of athleticism today, all through basketball, starting at about 13 years old, is amazing. We had a guy jumping over an 8-foot man. I think these are kind of cheesy, by the way. I went to one a few years ago at the Staples Center. They were jumping over Kias and I mean, it was all sorts of nonsense. But I thought this weekend it was a spectacle. And what Saturday night is a spectacle and a showcase for what the NBA believes are the world's greatest athletes. And Aaron Gordon and Derek Jones can dunk. I mean, I think that's been established. They're pretty unique.
where Colin was right.
Oh, what a shocker. Russell Westbrook, of all the guys in the All-Star game that shot more than once, had the worst percentage. 2 for 10, 0 for 4 on threes. Colin, you're such a jerk with Russell Westbrook. No, I'm not. I'm just saying he can't shoot. It's a shooter's league. Nobody's denying Russell's an amazing talent. Nobody's denying he's worth buying a ticket for. But Houston is worse with him this year, and OKC with Chris Paul, not nearly as athletic, has not missed a beat, and I could argue Chris Paul, I mean, it's been the story of the year in the NBA for a team that's not great as Oklahoma City without Westbrook.
Where Colin was wrong.
And this is where I got to give Chris Paul credit. I thought his career was over. I loved him coming out of Wake Forest, and I loved his first 6 or 7 years in the NBA. Then he got prickly. He was hard to deal with. He was hard to coach, and he got hurt a lot, and I said it's over. Chris Paul has missed only 1 game. He made an all-star game. Last night he had an alley-oop dunk. Didn't know that was in him. He had the best plus-minus on the night. I loved Chris Paul coming out, but I said a couple years ago, he's difficult. He's hurt. He doesn't appear to get along with coaches and players. Chris Paul, if the NBA had a comeback player of the year, he would win it. He has had a spectacular and, in my opinion, shocking season. Good for him.
Where Colin was right.
Zion Williamson, a lot of critics. Can't shoot a jumper. He's fat. I don't know. Best 10-game start in NBA history. Don't outthink the room with talent. If you see somebody that has otherworldly talent, or a body size, or energy like he does, all I need to see after that is self-awareness, and I know you're going to be a star. He literally gets me to a television set at night. Zion Williamson gets me to a TV set. There's a lot of good players in this league, and there's good teams I don't care about. Zion gets me to a TV set. Too many people outthought the room. He can't shoot a jumper. Who in God's name shoots a great jumper at 19 years old, a year out of high school? Ray Allen didn't shoot threes like that until he was in the league for 5 or 6 years. I think the critics have gotten very quiet. He has the second most points per minute for any NBA rookie ever after only Wilt Chamberlain. We loved him at Duke. We said he'd be a star. We said he'd be a star by the end of his first year, and he's delivered.
Where Colin was wrong.
Raiders are going to offer Tom Brady 2 years and $60 million, according to a report. I don't get John Gruden's utter dissatisfaction with Derek Carr. So Derek Carr completed 70% of his throws, and he had over 100 passer rating. This is with a rebuilding franchise. I don't get it. I think Derek Carr is probably the 12th best quarterback in the league. Where are you going to get better? This is a rebuilding roster, and they went to London and beat the Bears, and outside of Kansas City and Mahomes are very competitive. He had a career high in yards and passer attempts, yards per attempt. Derek Carr had a very good year. Derek Carr is a upper third quarterback. He reminds me of Tony Romo. He's athletic. He moves around. He's got a nice arm. People say he's not tough. Folks, when you play in a bad team for years and get beat up, and when you had a big injury like he did, you're a little gun-shy. Tom Brady off his injury was gun-shy for about a year and a half. Derek Carr's a top 12 quarterback in the league. He can make all the throws. He's athletic, 70% completion rate, had career highs, passer rating over 100. I don't get it. You can get to the AFC Championship with Derek Carr. I absolutely believe that. You can get to a conference championship with Derek Carr. I have no doubt in my mind if you could get a defense in Las Vegas/Oakland that could stop anybody.
Where Colin was right?
Well, last week, the Chargers made it official. We're done with Phillip Rivers. We said this about week 5 or 6 of the NFL season. It's over. You can have flaws as a quarterback. You can't be these 3 things: old, unathletic, and mistake-prone. Now, Brady's old, and he's pretty unathletic, but he doesn't make a bunch of mistakes. Drew Brees is old, no longer world-class athletic. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. You can be young Jameis Winston and athletic and throw picks, and people will keep you around. But the Chargers need new energy. They need new juice, and frankly, they got to sell tickets. And there's a fatigue to Phillip Rivers' style, which is, you'll win 8 or 9 games, but he'll throw huge picks in crisis. It was time. We thought it was time, and they officially moved on.
where Colin was wrong.
He was a number 2 pick a couple years ago out of Duke, Marvin Begley, and I loved him. I was wrong on that. Guys drafted below him are better, including Luka, who was a number 3 pick. Sacramento Kings only started 10 games there. Only 75 games he's actually played in. He's not a bust. He can play, and he's got some athletic ability. He's long and athletic and runs the court well. But in 2020, it'd be nice to occasionally hit a long jumper. He can't. The more I look at Marvin Begley, the more I whiffed on that one.
Where Colin was right?
The Cleveland Cavaliers are a mess if LeBron James is not part of the franchise. They are reportedly, as Joy reported, John Beelan's going to get fired little more than halfway through his first season. He was the coach at Michigan. He was a very good college coach. We said when he got hired, this is weird for a man of his age to be shifting into a completely different sort of ecosystem of basketball. Like, he's a great college coach. He's a perfect fit for college basketball. He was getting to Elite Eights and Final Fours and winning the Big Ten. He's a perfect college basketball coach. Weird fit, weird hire. We didn't get it. I mean, let's be honest about this franchise. Take out LeBron James last 20 years. The minute he leaves, it's a tire fire. Poorly run and, in my opinion, poorly owned.
Where Colin was right?
I defended Brad Stevens last year and Jason Tatum. I said, they're not the problem. They were great the year before. Kyrie Irving arrived. They're no longer great. Have you seen what's happened? Jason Tatum now without Kyrie Irving is a legitimate all-star. He can carry this franchise. He has still got 10 great years, prime years ahead of him, and Brad Stevens now has this team as a number 3 seed. By the way, Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving has a losing record when he plays, 8-12. They have a winning record when Kyrie Irving is out. Kyrie Irving was the problem. I'm not disputing his talent. I'm not disputing his ability to close. But last year, the narrative was suddenly Brad Stevens can't deal with stars. Well, he's got 4 guys on this team now that can get you 20 a night. Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker. They all, in the NBA, if you can drop 20, Jason Tatum's an all-star. He gets along with that star. And Jason Tatum's got a really great 10 years ahead of him. He gets along with him fine. Kemba Walker seems to like him. He's been an all-star. Gordon Hayward is a good player. Jaylen Brown's averaging 20 a night. These are star players in the NBA, and he gets along with all of them. He didn't get along with Kyrie Irving, and now in Brooklyn, nobody else seems to. Colin right, Colin wrong on a Monday. Can't believe how much baseball we're talking about. You know, you'd think all you fans out there that rip on these commissioners think it's an easy job.
Well, I mean, no, but they're commissioners, so they're kind of a target. That comes with the...
But let's not pretend this is easy. I mean, in the last 2 years, we've had, you hated Adam Silver 2 months ago. Oh, I didn't know what he's doing with China. Listen, they made like $400,000, $500,000 a year, $1 billion a year with China. They were in business with China. China's got a different form of government. It's not easy.
Well, I mean, they make the big bucks because they have to make those hard decisions. And, you know, the criticism and praise comes with that. But I wouldn't want to be in the situation to have to decide whether to vacate a World Series title or not. But I would not vacate a World Series title.
I would not. No. Now, do I think he could come in and put Jose Altuve on the shelf for 2 weeks? I'd be okay with that. I'm not saying you can't fine or suspend a player, but the GM and the manager got fired. You can suspend a player. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I would be fine with any suspension.
This whole vacating title stuff.
No, can't do it.
Yankees, slow down a little. Look at your own history. Slow down a tad.
You can't do it. It's an.
Goulet's over there, yeah. By the way, I got an Astro fan and a Yankee fan. Greg Tui's loved my last 10 minutes. Goulet's beside himself.
It's the worst thing we've ever done. Do some more. Let's keep going.
All right. Coming up next, Rich Orenberger, the former Patriot offensive lineman. Let's go inside on this Tom Brady thing because the story's now, folks, we're getting close. A story today, Brady and the Patriots have not met and have not talked. That's called tension. When I'm driving, the scariest moment when you're driving in really, really bad weather is when you're on an interstate, the sky opens up, it's pouring, and you don't have the right wipers. Sometimes you deal with fog. You ever notice that in your car in the morning? It's cold, it's wet, there's fog. It's cold, you don't have the air conditioner cranked up, there's fog, there's cold, there's rain. That's where Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades come. Okay, they've been put through the test. The company put them through a 16,000-mile world record-breaking drive from Alaska to Argentina. They wanted to put them in snow, in sleet, unpredictable conditions, the tundra, and guess what? Kept everybody safe. They're crafted with advanced quad-tech 4-layer coated silicone, repels water, snow, and ice 2 times longer than other blades. The new Michelin Blades, real-world proven, available only at Walmart. Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blade.